Hello everyone. Once again, welcome to my channel. My name is Yahya. I am a subject matter expert in Microsoft 365. Today's topic is very simple into how to configure aliases, why we need to use aliases instead of mailbox or creating a totally new email box. Um, Aside from that, how to configure it in Outlook, how to filter it and separate from the main identity. First of all, we talk about why do we need to um, use aliases. Now, aliases provide a privacy protection. Aliases conceal your actual email address, preventing it from being exposed to potential spammers or data breacher. It provides a security enhancement and it provides you organization and filtering, identity management, etc. Now, as an admin, uh, I communicate with different projects. For instance, Project X, and I want to filter my emails not to mix everything together. I want to focus my default mail address or email, which I use for the organization for ticketing purposes, cases, important matters. Now, if I join a project, a different project, I want to separate that one without creating a mailbox. Um, in that case, I would create an alias, and this would conceal my email address as an admin. For that matter, let's jump in, tag along. You might learn something new. Okay, to start, the first thing that we need to do to create aliases is to configure in the admin center, in Office 365 admin center, the aliases that we're going to use. We need to make sure that aliases is enabled in Microsoft Exchange admin center. Then we need to configure it using the Outlook on the web or Outlook desktop application. Now let's start with going to our portal in Office 365. As you can see, I logged in using my administrator account. Now, as you will know, you can go to the admin center from here. It opens a new port. Then you need to go to users, active users, select the user that you want to create aliases for. In this case, I'm going to create for myself. Now, if I choose my account, at the right side, you can see aliases, manage users, and email. If I click on that, I have no aliases yet. Now, supposedly, I joined a project, let's call it Project X, and I want to filter the emails and separate them from my default account, which is this one. Now, if I have more than one domain, if I click on the pull down menu, I would see the other domains here. In this purpose, I have only one domain, so I would select that one. Okay, perhaps I'm also communicating with vendors, sales. Sometimes they send me some proposals, news, items, stuff like that, and I want to create another mail for that purpose, and I would call it vendors. Added, save changes. Now, this one to take effect, it might take few minutes to about a couple of hours. Remember that Microsoft runs a lot of scripts at the background, and sometimes it takes time to populate the settings. Okay, we are done. Now, the second step is we want to make sure that we are able to use aliases in Exchange Admin Center. Now we logged into the Admin Center of Exchange. We go down to Settings. We click on Mail Flow. Here we want to make sure that this one is enabled. If this is not enabled, then we cannot use aliases. Now we want to make sure that this is enabled. Save, close. Let's just make sure that it is enabled. Yes, it's enabled. Then we are good to go. Now that we are sure that we can use aliases from Exchange Admin Center, the next step is we go to our mail, which is, from here. Sorry, from here, go to Outlook. It wouldn't matter if you are using Outlook on the web or Outlook application. It's almost the same thing, especially right now. We're using the new Outlook, which is this one. Okay, now we go back. It's supposed to be we are using Outlook on the web. The first thing that we need to do is perhaps um, we create a new folder. This folder we call it Project X. Okay, and we create a new folder. Sorry, create a new folder, and we call this one vendors. Okay, now we have this one. Let me just delete this one again. Okay, we have, let's close this one. We have support and we have vendors. The next thing we do is to create a rule. Now we click on the settings, we go to mail, rules. Let's create a new rule. We call this rule Project X. Condition 2. Now we write the alias, which is Project X at YZK Digital on Microsoft.com. Okay. What action? Move to. Then we say move it to Project X. Okay. We save. We add another rule and we call this one vendors. We say if the email goes to vendors at yzkdigitalmicrosoft.com. Let's just make sure micro no, my no, got it wrong. Vendors at microsoft.com. Okay, the action is to move it to the folder which is called vendors. Save, and we have the two rules. Now let's test it. Supposedly I would go to my Gmail. I'll compose. I'll send this one to project X at YZK Digital on Microsoft.com. Subject alias test testing on, then send. We go back to Outlook and see if we receive email. Remember that it's gonna take some time. As we said before, it might take a little bit time. Anyhow, let's go back and we compose another one. And this time we send an email for vendors. Subject test alias testing. We go send. Just make sure that we send them. Okay. There we go. We received an email for vendors. We still didn't receive the one project X. There you go. Alias testing. Let's check what is our rule. Vendors. Okay. Supposedly, if I would reply with this one, say reply. From here, from, we go to this arrow and we say other, we type um, we type project X at yzkdigital.microsoft.com. Testing, apply. You see, it added the email here. First, you need to type it. Vendors at yzkdigital.com. Test reply. Okay. As you can see, our main folder is not affected, and the send item is it's in here. We need to check this one in the admin center if it's correctly made. No. Yep, it's correct. We see, there you go. We receive it in Gmail. If I would reply to this email, where will it go? Reply. Nice to meet, nice meet you. Okay, there you go. You see, it didn't go to the inbox, so it channeled the emails that I'm sending and receiving to this one. It depends on the alias that I'm using.